Alstom Power continues its significant research and development efforts to develop solutions to increase the efficiency of existing plants and improve the latest best available technologies for all fuel types, both fossil fuels and renewable energy. To decarbonise power generation, Alstom Power believes carbon capture and storage, or CCS, is a must.
We have chosen a technology that can answer the two problems that we have to solve today. First of all, we have to build clean plants. So this technology should help us to capture the CO2 that the new plant that we are building are emitting. But more importantly, we have to propose a technology to the market to solve the problem of the installed base, of the existing plants.
Alstom Power is currently involved in 10 major demonstration projects in the world, including the world's first truly integrated capture and storage project with AEP here in West Virginia.
When we get done with the upscale of this project, it will demonstrate to the rest of the world that this is viable, meaningful, technological answer. It will be used not only by our company, other coal producers in the Western Hemisphere, it'll be used throughout the world. This is the first step in addressing the issue that people said 5-7 years ago could not be addressed.
The focus is on two main categories of carbon capture and storage: oxy-combustion and post-combustion capture. These technologies have been chosen because they will provide the most cost-effective solutions for its customers, but they can also be adapted to the existing installed base.
Those technologies are retrofittable technologies. We will be able to adapt them on existing boilers, like this one on my back, and we can also adapt them to new coal-fired boilers, but also we will be able to adapt a post-combustion system to combined cycle using gas to generate electricity.
Flue gas from the power plant is first cooled and conditioned. The flue gas then proceeds to the CO2 absorber, where the carbon dioxide is removed through contact with ammonia-based solution. The carbon-free flue gas then proceeds through another washing process to remove any ammonia slip, and is then sent to the stack for release into the atmosphere. The rich CO2 solution is then sent to the regeneration column. As the solution is heated under pressure, the absorption process is reversed and pure CO2 is recovered. The recovered CO2 is then compressed and sent to geological storage.
The geologists tell us that their initial review of the storage space available is amply sufficient to store several hundred years of emissions.
To move to a decarbonised system of energy supply will require a huge effort, both economically and technically. To make the transition happen, strong, decisive and united action from governments is required to give the sector the long-term certainty it needs to act now and make the contribution to meet this challenge.
Business needs a policy framework which puts a price on carbon. That way, industry will have an incentive to develop goods and services which are low carbon or zero carbon, and that will help us to reduce the emissions that are causing global warming.
Significantly reducing the carbon emissions from existing fossil fuel power stations will have a great impact on the environment.
Alstom is committed since 2004 to bring a solution for carbon capture before 2015. We will be ready.
Preserving the forests that absorb so much of the CO2 that we emit will be top of the agenda for many delegates at COP15 in Copenhagen. And so it's to Denmark's neighbour Sweden that we go to next to find that preserving the forest can mean good business. SCA has long recognised the need for a global reduction in greenhouse gases. As a world leader in hygiene and paper products, selling products in more than 90 countries with over 50,000 employees, SCA is in a strong position to make a direct contribution to help the environment. SCA established its first carbon dioxide target in 2001 and began a company-wide effort to reduce CO2 emissions, looking at reducing its carbon emissions from the cradle to the grave. Last year, SCA committed to reducing emissions from fossil fuels by 20% between 2005 and 2020. With the global fight against climate change, it's easy to forget the important role that forests play. One single tree absorbs 1 ton of carbon dioxide in its lifetime of 60 to 70 years. SCA is Europe's largest private owner of forests, with 2.6 million hectares of forest land actively sequestering carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
The forest is a very important part of solving the global warming situation we have today. It's about 20% of the global warming problems today is coming from the deforestation in the world. So we think that if we could manage that in a better way, that will be a great help to solve that problem.
In any given year, SCA's forests have a net growth of about 1%. For each tree harvested, 3 new trees are planted. The result is that the total carbon dioxide output from all its manufacturing worldwide is almost matched by the absorption of CO2 by its forests.
From the beginning, we've been very close to nature, and environmental question has been very important for the company. We also believe that in the future, a prerequisite for a successful company is really to work with sustainability. And today you could say that we have 3 pillars that we are basing our business on. One is, of course, economy, one is environment, and the third one is social responsibility.
SCA has been working with life cycle assessment since the early 90s. Life cycle assessments include a complete environmental assessment of the entire value chain, from raw material and product manufacturing, transportation, through usage and waste disposal, and is well integrated in SCA's development process of new products.
The main advantage with LCA is that you really have a credible and scientific way of measuring the environmental impact on the whole product life cycle. And we're following the carbon footprint for our products. And if you take products like the Libra open diaper, Libreth thin towel and TENA pants, there we have reduced the carbon footprint with 10 to 20% during the 10 last years.
Over the past 20 years, the possibility of making thinner hygiene products by using efficient materials with a higher absorption capacity and smarter design has led to major environmental improvements. In 2003, SCA initiated its group-wide eSave program, designed to reduce energy consumption and CO2 emissions even further. Since its launch, more than 900 small-scale projects have reduced electricity consumption by 600 gigawatt hours and cut CO2 emissions by 60,000 tonnes annually.
Every mill has an energy coordinator, and the energy coordinator is also a member of an eSave team in each business unit. And in the meeting teams we give each other ideas on new energy projects. We can go together and bring ideas up from other places.
SCA mills use substantial amounts of energy. About 40% of SCA's fuel balance consists of biofuels, with the bulk of the remainder being generated by natural gas. Only about 5% is derived from oil and 1% from coal. SCA is working strategically to decrease the proportion of oil and coal even further. Tissue and personal care products account for about 60% of SCA's sales. A large proportion of them are sold to consumers in supermarkets. Mercadona is the largest supermarket operator in Spain and has had SCA as a supplier for more than 30 years.